Okay, so let's go ahead and go a little bit further with our tutorial on tables in the text editor in SiteSkins. Okay, so this is the text editor page type. If you're not seeing this, then you're not working within a text editor page type. If you would like more information on working with the text editor and this is new to you, back up and look at the first tutorial on the text editor. Okay, so this is getting a little bit more advanced. We're now going to add a couple rows, and we're going to handle a sort of unique situation where we might want to have a panoramic photo which stretches from left to right all the way across this section here. Or we might just want to have a large description area breaking from our smaller cells and do a larger single cell down here. Now, as you can see, if I right click in here and I go to add another row, it automatically has these three areas here. Okay, so it's following the same 3 wide layout that we've got above. Let's ignore that for now. We'll go ahead and add another row because I'd like to add 2 rows. And now we've got our 2 extra rows. What we're going to do is we're going to right click inside the second box, and we're going to choose under cells. We're going to choose delete cells. And let's go ahead and do that again. So what it did was it scooted the cell down. It actually deleted the middle cell, but so it's actually gone. Let's go ahead and delete this cell here as well. Now we have 1 cell here, and let's go ahead and do the same on these. We're going to click in here and delete this cell. And we're going to click inside this one and delete this cell as well. Okay, now we have 2 itty bitty little cells. If we were to type in here, we would get something that looks like this, and it would just sort of fill in here, and we would have a big bunch of nothing over here, and that doesn't look very good. What we want are cells which will span the entire width of the overall table. So we're going to back this up here and get rid of what's in there, and we're going to tell this cell by right-clicking inside here. By now you should be used to right-clicking inside the box. And we want to tell this cell to be 3 wide. So we're going to tell it to span 3 columns. That's right here in the column span. And we're going to put in 3. And that does this. Now suddenly we can type in this entire area. Okay, or we could put a photo in this entire area, which is what we're about to do. Let's go ahead and repeat that here. I right click, I choose cell properties. And then I go ahead and span that 3 columns wide. So now we have 2 3-column wide spans. It's going to be very nice what this looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and upload our photo that we want to put in here. I went ahead of time and uploaded a panoramic image that will work for this example. And it is a Forest Falls panorama. Not the best photo, but it'll work for here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is put that at, I think I worked out that I wanted something like 635. Now let's do 640 pixels wide. I'm keeping the lock ratio lock on. I generally want to keep that lock on. I know I mentioned that a lot, but I just want to make sure that if you're getting warped images, be aware that that is there, and that's there to help you. Okay, so now we have our image, which is generally about the width of everything else here. We could fuss with it a little bit more and make it exact, but let's just call that good enough for now. And I'm going to put in Forest Falls in Western North Carolina. Okay, and I would like to go ahead and select that and go in keeping with what we've already been doing size-wise. I'm going to make that size 11. And now we have our Forest Falls panorama. Okay, and then there's just one thing else that I'd like to show in this next tutorial. And that is, what would we do if we wanted to make one of these? We already showed how we could, in the last tutorial, we showed how we could link from this flower to a large version of the flower. But what if we wanted to simply link to somewhere external? For example, with this duck, I might, it could be an advertisement link, or I could just, wish to send traffic to somebody else, and I want to make this duck a link that goes to another web page. Well, what I've done is I've gone ahead and pulled up the Audubon Society of North Carolina, and they've got this nice website here. And I'm going to click in the address bar, and I'm going to copy, do a Control-C and copy the address to that website. Okay, so going back here, I'm now going to right-click on this. Actually, no, I'm going to just click it, and I'm going to click on Link, as you've seen me do before. And this time, I'm going to go ahead and put in I'm going to paste in the address to the website. Okay, it's just that simple. I'm leaving this on link type URL. Protocol is http://, which is default. And I'm going to put that in there. Let's go ahead, and also one last thing, I want to target this to a new window. The reason for that is I don't want people, if they do leave my website, I want them to hit spawn a new window so that they've always got my website to come back to. That's generally a good practice. So I will accept that. Now again, we've got that border around the linked image. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that by going into Image Properties and selecting a border equals 0. And now we won't have that. So let's go ahead and publish what we have, and let's take a look. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get to the live examples section of the website, and we're going to go ahead and get on the text editor. And we should see our new panorama appearing here. That looks pretty nice there. And we've got our caption beneath it. And this is still all within the one giant table that we're working on. So you can see you could easily work on, what I like to call a glam wall or a glam gallery, where you've just got, it's useful for fashion and industries like that, where you have just a bunch of really nice looking images. We have people who do makeup artistry and hair design and bridal photography and so forth, and that can be very useful for that sort of thing. Okay, so that is how to span, and of course we added some more. We added another row, and we spanned 3 columns wide. Let's look at one more feature before we leave the tutorial for today. So I'm going to go back to our editor, go back into the text editor page, and let's look at another little trick we can do. And I just want to make sure people are aware of this. Okay, if you're inside here, you can right click inside a box. You can go into cell properties, which is where we were before. And we can choose a background color right here, background color. I'm going to choose, for this illustration, pure black. And if you have your own color value, you can put that in here. For example, if you generate one in Photoshop, pluck it from a from an image or something like that. So I'm going to use pure black and agree to that. And now, as you can see, my text is getting a bit lost here, but I do like the idea of doing gray or black. So it tends to have a very sleek look, but it obviously needs to be a little bit lighter of gray. So we're going to go in here and we're going to choose kind of a light gray value here. And as you can see, that's what it looks like. So that's an option as well, and we could carry that same idea in each of these tables up here, each of these cells. So for example, I would go into cell properties. I would select background color black, and so forth. And then I would select the text and go in here and choose the light gray value. So as you can see, that wouldn't be difficult to go ahead and do that across the entire page. Wouldn't take very much time at all. We're going to go ahead and publish that and take a look and see how that's looking for us. Okay, let's refresh that. And you can see there's the photo there, and there's the caption area in black with the light gray text. Okay, let's go ahead and double check that our link to the Audubon Society worked. I'm going to click on the duck, and that launches their website. We can see we've got the beautiful Audubon Society website here, and it worked perfectly. When we close that window, we see our window is still underneath here with the little border showing that it was just clicked. So that is the tutorial for today on the text editor. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching.